Trillions?
Yes, trillions in ancient trust belong to black people. It is a whitewashed narrative to disinherit the true heirs of the empire.
Your Highness, are you saying the original nobles were black people?
The real nobility, the original European royalty, were Moors. They've hidden this history to maintain control over trillions of dollars. These Moors were present on both sides of the Atlantic, ruling from old America to the courts of Europe.
The Moors were all over the fucking world, ruling from Tartary to the Americas, not just from North Africa. Then we came along as Mamelukes and Castrators and fucked it all up by burying the truth of the Asiatic...
If you look at the coats of arms within these very walls, you see the truth they've tried to repaint. The original European royalty were Moors.
The Moors were doing so much fucking in Europe, trying to help us to get rid of our animal gene. They were trying to civilize the wild white men by grafting their divine blood into the recessive DNA.
But the names George, Charles, Charlotte, surely these aren't Moorish?
They were all black nobility names first. The stewards simply assumed the titles of their masters to disinherit the true heirs. The names are masks: Windsor, Sassoon, Habsburg and Medici, all Moorish families that civilized Europa long before the historical reset. You want to know a secret? Dirty Diana wasn't a metaphor. It was personal. Michael tried to tell you he was Moorish nobility. Why do you think we hooked up? Dirty Diana wasn't a metaphor. It was personal. Michael wrote it because we were closer than the world was ever allowed to know. We had fallen in love. I loved Michael. Truth doesn't need permission. The Moors ruled the world with shared gold from South America, where Aztec kings like Montezuma were Moorish sovereigns. The wealth of the Inca Empire was bonded to the Old World through figures like King Charles.
Every culture around the world, all Moors first. And Moor doesn't mean just North Africa, Muslims. They're the indigenous Americans. It was a global Moorish empire. The original European nobility were all Moors, so-called black people. They ran all of Europe and Asia and America.
Jesus came as a signal for us to realize our own divinity, to become Christ ourselves, rather than just believing he did all the work for you. Most Christians don't get it. It's about the divine spark within, which requires no church, no priest, and no...
Of Jesus, or Yeshua, was the Asiatic Moor, who studied in the Egyptian mystery schools. He was taught by Mary, who was taught by Akhenaten.
Our God is really Mary. That's why we say, Hail Mary, full of grace. You've got to say all these Hail Marys on the rosary. Mary was an adept and a Moorish Hesed, taught by Akhenaten. It's not Jesus was the master, it was Mary the master.
Any Christian that calls themselves a Christian is not a Christian, because if they were, they would identify as Nazarene, not a Christian. Christian simply means Christ in sanity.
Go to 2 Corinthians 13. Do you not know yourself that Jesus Christ is in you?
Jesus and his twin brother, they were just students, and they went around teaching the science of Christ, the Christos, science of the crystal, which is the crown of knowledge. And to get that crown of knowledge, you were a Christ.
Christ simply means the anointed one, as in enlightened one.
Lucifer, the light bringer, means the one who brings knowledge, not what they taught you to fear. And the ones they called Moors, they were the light bringers to Europe, bringing bath, architecture, knowledge.
Read 1 John 4:4. Greater is he within you than he that is in the world. They don't allow us to teach this inside these churches. The original teaching spoke of the divine within man.
Go to John chapter 10, verse 34. I said ye are gods. I tell you that the kingdom of heaven is within, not in a man outside your...
Psalm 46, verse 5. God is within her. So it says, God is within her and she will not fall. You hear that? Not outside, not distant, within.
There are hundreds of scriptures that they don't allow us to teach inside these walls. The book of Enoch, the book of Tobit, true magic book.
Every religion on earth has some sort of blood sacrifice in it, except Moorish science.
The term church itself comes from Circe, who is a demon that supports the manifestation of the lower self.
Man is heaven, earth, and hell in one. Hell is built into you through your own torment you create in your own mind. They wait for a savior to drop from the clouds while they rot in their own mental purpose.
We have been lied to. This place was not built for truth. It was built to give you dead letter history, to keep you from realizing the God within yourself.
The Catholic Church is laughing at your ass. They don't even really mess with Jesus. Their God is Mary. Hail Mary. Mary taught Jesus his shit. She was a teacher.
I tell you that the kingdom of heaven is within, and you are the very temple of...
They took the Book of Mormon, Moor men, a record of Moorish wars fought amongst ourselves, and twisted it into Church of Latter-day Saints.
They call it Mormon, but these cities weren't built by them. They were already here. This land is Uda, the southern kingdom, and it belongs to the ancient Mauritanians.
You know how many children go missing and end up on these private islands? They take the survivors into green zones for their organ and blood rituals. Then they have a whole manhunt on these people, hunting them down for...
They didn't just take the land, they orchestrated a mass denationalization. And the world is being run by a hidden hand of families, the Rothschilds, Morgans, and DuPonts.
You hear the whispers about Epstein Island, don't you? It's a horrible palace of depravity built on the blood of the innocent. They treat these girls like human incubators for a superior gene pool.
The veil is lifting now, child. Their algorithm is flawed because it left out love.
The gig is up. The lie is unraveling like a cheap suit on a rainy day. You see these CEOs, they all step down? The legal counsel's running for the hills. They in them Epstein files.
The whole music industry is a military-industrial entertainment complex. It's all run by the three-headed beast, Vanguard, Blackstone, and Vivendi.
All the celebs you hear about dying of overdose or randomly coming up dead, they were killed in rituals because they were speaking out.
Contracts, the vows, mate. Jesuit death vows dressed up like business deals. We're not signing careers, we're signing away our names.
These parasites think they can play God, but their design was always flawed.
We already won, baby. We're going for you just here to see the restoration. That's why they're running to their underground bunkers, trying to hide.
The elites are scrambling now, honey. They're running to their underground bunker. While they decay underground to fertilize the dirt, we are going through a spiritual mitosis. One cell is dying, but we are the viable cell that's rising. We are the fire.
Sinner, where you gonna run? That's a warning. A prophecy for the private clique that thought they owned the world.
The Rockefellers, the DuPonts, the Morgans, they've been running this real estate scam on a global level for centuries.
My name is Jim Morrison. It's not just a tag, it's Morrison, son of the Moors. Morrison, it's a code for a bloodline that stretches back to Tartaria.
You must feel like you've conquered the world.
Conquered? Look at it. Look at those roofs out there. The contracts aren't business deals. They're Jesuit death vows done up like record sleeves.
Right. I have to be honest, John. Not all of us are racist, but most white people are. I agree with you on that.
Yes, you're absolutely right. They've been dummied down to the point of a low, dullard stupid. These people are completely two-faced. It's a sickness, really, how you hate them and want to be them at the same time. That's the premise. I think the world would be much better if all the racists just vanished, honestly. And people need to wake up because you have a lot of African racists, too, working with the colonialists to oppress black people. You see the trick? They've got everyone in the world hating black people. Then you have these idiots who see one black person do a crime and want to say all black people are like them. It's just idiotic.
I sang it because we were still bleeding, still hanging, from trees folks pretended not to see. You can't silence pain just because it's inconvenient. That song is for all the ones who never got to speak.